Admiral Piett, an ambitious Imperial officer. Piett rose through the ranks to the captain and was assigned to the Superstar Destroyer Executor, Darth Vader's flagship. When Vader strangled Admiral Azel, Piett was granted a battlefield promotion to Admiral and given a grisly warning of the penalty of failure. Hello, welcome to Centaurian's Corner, and today we're reviewing Admiral Piett and another officer to go on my shelf along with Krennic, Tarkin, Thrawn, and to stand alongside Darth Vader and all the other troopers. Now I'm pretty excited to get Admiral Piett. He was an exclusive for Entertainment Earth, so I got him from Forbidden Planet the other day for $17.99, which I think is pretty much of a bargain. And I think a lot of people overlook Admiral Piett. I think they kind of just think he's just a normal officer. What's the point making him in the Black Series figure? But this guy actually appeared in Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi. He's the only officer to see Darth Vader without his helmet. And he's just there, you know, and he finished off that bounty hunter shelf as well, as is the guy that reads out bounty hunters. We don't need their scum. So again, it's another addition to my bounty hunter shelf. Perfect. I mean, obviously this guy he met his demise at the end of Return of the Jedi as the executioner went straight down into the Death Star. But, you know, that's pretty good for an officer for Star Wars to at least be over 2 films. So here he is in his little box. We've got his little drawing down here. It kind of looks a little bit like him. Kind of looks a bit weird looking as well on the little drawing there. Here he is in his window, and we've got his accessories, got a cap and a gun. On one side we've got Admiral Piett and just Piett written in the black. Entertainment Earth exclusive, so there's no number. And then we've got his bio and the pencil drawing again on the back. So, without further ado, let's crack this bad boy open. Okay, so here he is in his blister pack. There's no hidden accessories on there, so we've just got his gun and his little cap. And here he is standing all to attention. So what we'll do, I'll get him out of the blister pack, have a first little look at him, take him away for some pictures, which I'll show at the end of the video. And we just have his first impressions right now. His body feels just as stiff as any of the other Imperials, and yeah, looks alright. Don't think necessarily his face sculpt actually really looks like the guy, but it's definitely got the sort of the new technology on there. I mean, the eyes look quite good compared to the older things. So once we put the cap on there, we have a little look and just see what he looks like. But so far, he looks pretty impressive. So guys, I'll see you in a minute. Hello, welcome back. So we've been away with Admiral Piett, taken some pictures, and yeah, I mean, he holds up pretty well. He holds up pretty much like all the other sort of officers that we have out there. I think there's parts of his bodies that are probably exactly the same as the others, and yeah, he's pretty cool, and it's just a nice one to have on your shelf. So he comes with 2 accessories, and his first accessory is his blaster pistol, and that's detailed in this sort of just black moulded plastic. And the details and all that are on there. Got all the sort of buttons and switches and triggers and the scope. That's quite nice, and it fits in his trigger hand very easily. But the downside of this pistol, he actually hasn't got a holster. So where Krennic and Thrawn had a holster, he doesn't have one. So it's annoying because obviously Tarkin has a trigger finger, but he doesn't come with a blaster. And this guy has a trigger finger and comes with a little blaster and never uses it in the film. So it is a bit annoying, but if you ever wanted to do displays, take him out onto toy photos and stuff like that people do outside, then at least he's got a gun and you don't have to sort of get one for him. His other accessory that he has is his hat, and yeah, it's got his sort of like officer pin on there and the folds just off the flaps. And it's done quite nice. And he's got a nice little tight grip on his head as it fits just nice, and yeah, it's not going to fall off or anything like that. It's on there, done very well. So with that, we'll go over his articulation, and he's just, as I said, he's just literally just the same as any old officer. So he can look down, not that much. He can sort of look up. His arms come up that far. He's got a rotation at the shoulder. He's got a rotation at the elbow. He's got a single jointed arm that goes up to 90 degrees. He's got a hinge at the wrist. He's got a rotation at the wrist, and then he's got a rotation at his waist. There's no ab crunch or anything there. I mean, you suppose you could say there is, but there's really, he's not bending forward at all. But there's a little bit of a crunch there. So his legs can go up this kind of far, but unfortunately it's hindered by his little skirt bit. He can go that far back. He can open his legs up quite wide because he's got the splits down the side, and he's got the upper thigh rotation. He's got a double jointed knee, and then he's got a rocker and a pivot, which is quite nice. The only thing about this guy is, and he suffers from the same thing Mark Krennic suffers from, because he's definitely got the same legs. Well, maybe even like the lower legs, because he's creases, as was exactly the same. But his right leg seems to be a little bit longer than his left, so he does become a bit annoying to stand up, and he wouldn't be very well received in any kind of Imperial rank because he can't stand with his legs together. So he always goes a little bit top heavy. He always wants to lean over this way, so you've got to slightly bend him at the knee a little bit, I suppose, for Lord Vader. And yeah, he's a bit slanted, but yeah, it's the only thing that's a bit annoying with him. He's got to have his legs sort of slightly out, and it's the same way as Krennic as well. It's the only way you can get him to stand up straight is by having his leg just kind of sort of out to the side. But with that, we can go over his sculpt, and again, like, the sculpt's done well. It is an Imperial officer. He's all one colour all over, and he's got his sort of like regimented pins, and he's got his badge as well. I don't think particularly the face is done very well. If someone gave me this figure and they would say, "Who's this in Star Wars?" I would just literally say an officer. I don't think I would ever sort of scream out saying, "Oh, that's Admiral Piett" to a T. You know, it just looks a bit like a generic kind of guy, really. Maybe around the eyes just slightly, but you know, I don't think they've really captured his look. But you know, it's done well. The paint's applied very well, but I just think the sculpt isn't there. And then going down to his sort of tunic, and he's got his leather belt, and if you get a little bit closer, you actually see the leather sort of like detailing in there, and the material of the actual kind of like a wool kind of sort of material look on the actual tunic. So I mean, they could have kept that all plain, but having those sort of fine details just down there, I think, you know, that's what brings out the figures. And then obviously we've got his badge, got his little pins, which I always think look like little Bic pens, and yeah, he's got his gloves, and obviously we've got this sort of material pull and ripples on there. And I go down to his legs and down to his glossy boots. So yeah, another fine addition to the Imperial ranks. I think the only officer now is Veers that I need, so it'd be nice to see the comparison with these guys with his armour off. And yeah, another one to the shelf. So that's my review of Admiral Piett. What do you think, guys? Is this one for you? Is he hard to get older for you as being a Entertainment Earth exclusive? Let me know down below. You can follow me on Instagram, and I'll see you next time. Bye.